So, I previously told you all not to be afraid of buying gaming related stuff from private sellers on sites like eBay or similar. So I figured I would use it more as well and show what I got and the state of it. So I have bought a single game from eBay, Race Driver Grid for the ps3. I picked this game because it's a game that has eluded me for a long time, and due to pressure from a dear friend, I finally decided to get a hold of it. The game itself was very cheap at only 3.42 British pounds. That's very affordable, but then we have shipping, which was 2.99, almost as much as the game itself. And then we have whatever VAT is at 1.61 pounds. And we arrive at a total of 8, more than double the original price, which always feels a bit stupid, but that's just how things work, I guess. It's still a pretty good price and still cheaper than some of the retro gaming sites I found it at. But yeah, let's open it and check it out. And it has a really cool cover, but I don't know how visible this will be on the camera, but there are some weirdness going on with the cover. The case itself, like the plastic case, seemed to be pretty good, with only a small amount of scuffs. But there's a lot of damage to the cover, the paper inside. Some tearing on the front, as well as some wear, especially on the corners. On the back, there's a lot of wear around the corners are somewhat expected, but what's going on here? There seem to be like punctures, almost like bite marks, which is just weird. So overall, the cover isn't mint condition, to say the least. And if it actually is bite marks, that's pretty disgusting. And of course, these things leads me to be quite worried about if the disc even works, but I mean, as long as it does, I don't really care that much if the cover isn't looking great. But yeah, let's open it up and look at the goodies inside. And first up, there is a manual, which is cool. At least then it's complete. But let's see the disc, and it doesn't look too bad actually. There are some small scratches, but not worse than any of my PS2 games, so it should be fine. Oh, but here's a very small but deeper scratch. I don't know how visible this will be on camera, but yeah, here's another one actually. Which leads me to be a bit more concerned. So most of it is just from rough use, I guess, but these two deeper scratches, although they are very small, does concern me. But yeah, let's test if the game works, and as usual, my camera work is absolutely terrible, as I don't really have a proper setup for cameras at all. And yeah, I did actually clean the disc off camera before I put it in, and it looked a lot better after I did, so hopefully this will work. And it is starting, so that's good, and yeah, menus work. Alright, so I fast forwarded into a quick race and everything seems to work perfectly fine, so I'm quite happy with my purchase. I would of course prefer to have a decent cover, but hey, I collect to play, so as long as the game works, it's good enough for me. And the game was very cheap, so yeah, I'm quite happy. But let's get over to my story with this game and why it has eluded me. So I first learned of this game back in 2013 when I was in school and one of my friends played it. He said it was good and recommended me getting it as well. But by then Grid 2 had been released, so I bought that one instead. Because as naive as I was, I thought that they would have just taken the concept from Grid and improved upon it, and that Grid 2 would be just as good or even better. And maybe it was, I don't remember anymore, it's been 10 years after all. But I remember feeling like Grid 2 wasn't really what my friend had described, so I was left a little bit disappointed with Grid 2. But then I forgot about the franchise for a while until 2014 when Grid Autosport was released, which I also bought for whatever reason. And this one I'm not sure if I actually finished at all. I will have to look into that. Again, I remember Autosport wasn't really what I hoped it to be at that time, But whenever Race Driver Grid came back on my mind, it had already been removed from storefronts. I couldn't find out when it was actually removed from Steam, so let me know in the comments if you know when it was removed. But yeah, I guess I didn't care enough about the game to get a hold of it at that time, but from time to time I have looked at it and considered picking it up. However, there has always been a newer or more shiny game that I rather picked up, so that's how the original Grid has eluded me for all this time. And that's my Race Driver Grid story until now, so let me know in the comments what you think about the game, and feel free to recommend me any other games you think I should have in my collection. But yeah, that's about it. If you liked this video, please click the like button. If you didn't, then feel free to dislike it. And if you want to see more of my content, then please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.